Working hard to make the world great for all dogs. It's the Digger Digger Doggos podcast.
Hey. Oh my gosh, we're back. Have you people missed us? We took a tiny little break. I think we did some vacationing over the last couple months. But Digger Digger Doggos is back, and we are so excited to be here today. Today was going to be an anniversary podcast. One of our guests was not able to make it today, so we're going to do a pre-anniversary podcast. It's so lovely to see everybody, Jennifer and Camille, and of course my ride or die down there at the end, Yuki. And then we have Ace and we have Angel with us today. So if you remember, how do we always start our podcast? I think we start with, what are we drinking? What are we drinking, Yuki?
We are drinking Scott & Cellar's bubbly rosé wine.
Yeah.
It's clean, no added sugar, no chemicals and all that junk. It's great, no headaches, and it's good for you.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
here we are.
It's good for your attitude.
Yay.
Scout & Cellar.
Scott & Cellar.
We keep saying your name. So if you want to send us some wine for our podcast, we would love to have it. Anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh, welcome back to
Cheers.
Podcast World. Yuki, we got to get everybody.
You can tell by my lipstick on there, I was all ready to go.
Yeah, we did have a little bit prior because we had some technical difficulties, but here we are. So, okay, we are back and we are
Ace,
drinking
you can't have any.
Scout & Cellar.
Ace, you cannot have any.
Oh, Ace. Ace is like, what's going on here? He's like, I'm here, but I need a snack. And we're going to get to snacks in just a little bit, actually. Doggy snacks, to be exact. Anyway, let us go down the line and let's just talk about what we've been up to. Yuki, why don't you kick us off?
We came back from a dog training session in, I think it's Santa Paula. And you've got a lot of good material that you brought back from there.
Yes, I will share that.
We've got some great videos, and I learned a lot, especially the type of dog, the temperament, and what they need to exhibit as far as wanting to play with toys, which leads them to be developed into good dogs to find people in structures that have maybe crashed from earthquakes or hurricanes or whatnot. And these are dogs that help rescue and find people.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Anything
awesome.
else that you've been up to, Yuki?
No, I guess that's about the biggest thing.
Well, you bought your mini Winnie.
Yes, I did buy the Binny Winnie, and it's great. It's the only way to travel with people and dogs, especially large dogs. And I recommend that for anyone that has large dogs that want to take them on vacation or wherever they go. It's the best way to travel.
So is this a mini Winnebago? Is that what we're, an RV vehicle? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying, actually.
Just wanted, mini Winnie
not-
sounded pretty cool,
Yeah,
but
not
I wasn't
everybody-
exactly sure.
Might know what a mini Winnie is.
Little horse.
It's an RV.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe we'll do a little road trip with the Digger Digger Doggos.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
fun.
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got your mini Winnie. Okay, so we're up to speed with you, my friend, I guess. Mm-hmm. All right. Camille, you're up, my friend.
What have I been up to? Just doing work on our house and on our property, and it's almost done. I'm excited.
Hey.
That's it. That's all I've been doing.
That's a big accomplishment. We're going to go out there next Sunday and check out your new digs in the backyard. Excited to see that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
I know
you.
that's been a long process.
Over a year
I'll
in the
bet it's
making.
beautiful, though.
Yeah.
So nice.
All right, my friend Jennifer.
Oh,
Jen.
yes. So let's see. I've been working nonstop, but we'll get to that later. The most exciting thing, honestly, I've done in the last couple of months was I helped save a dog's life, and I was very excited about it. It was boosted on social media that it was in a shelter where one of the people in the shelter had marked her as aggressive and violent, and in less than 10 days they were going to euthanize. And you just looked into her sweet little eyes, and you knew that it wasn't the case. And there was also combating that report was a volunteer there that kept writing all these beautiful, nice things about how she's excited to go for walks and stuff like that.
What's her name, the dog?
Her name was Kimbo, and they kept referring it as he. But it was a female, so I immediately changed her name to Kimba in my heart, and then I make up little songs about Kimba. So anyway, they wouldn't let her go to a person. They wouldn't release her to me, so I had to find a shelter, work with a shelter. There's so many amazing shelters. Rescue, yes,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah, rescue.
Rescue. There's so many amazing rescues, and one really stepped forward. And that was smart of them to do so because now they got donations from me and a bunch of my friends. But they didn't do it for that. They did it for the love of dogs and saving dogs. And it was really exciting. I wrote the shelter a ton of emails because, of course, they weren't open on a particular day or whatever. And then I went down basically the day that she was supposed to be not with us anymore, and loaded her up in my truck and brought her back, and she went to that rescue, and she went to their forever home, and she's just super happy. So that's really the most important thing I've done in the last couple months.
Oh, that's amazing.
And you know what? I'm so glad you brought up that story because I forgot about that. But then the second you started talking about it, I was like, what an incredible thing. Because I know you had texted me, and I was like, I can't get her. But you found somebody. And that's the thing about rescue and wanting to save a dog. It's tenacity. If you really want to do it, you find a way to do it. And you saved her life. And so many dogs, we're not talking about that today, but are so mislabeled. I actually pulled a dog. My rescue pulled a dog about 2 months ago now. And he was, his name is Raider out of the Carson shelter. And he was also deemed to be unadoptable. And I had to sign a waiver for him. And when I had to submit paperwork to county for where he is, et cetera, I said very clearly another mislabeled dog out of the Carson shelter because he was totally mislabeled. He's great with other dogs, great with people. His adopter said he hasn't even growled. And I get updates and pictures, and he was probably a bait dog. He had a lot of scars and a lot of bite marks on him. But, yeah, you did a great thing, my friend.
And she's a sweetheart. For the record, the volunteer really saved her life because he kept writing every single day. She's excited to go for the walk. She was a little scared at first, a little timid. By the time I got there, she was like, woohoo, who are you? Let's go play. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, she sat in the back of my truck coming out of there and just a little happy smile. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? I wanted to keep her, but there was already a forever home waiting for her. So I'm very excited she's there and living her best life.
Yay. Cheers to that.
So anyone else that can do that, I recommend doing it. It'll have an impact on you that you're not even prepared for.
Yeah, and volunteers are definitely our unsung heroes at the shelter. I spent 5 years there, and I don't even want to go to our shelters anymore. So great job for that volunteer. You know, getting her out of her kennel, writing updates about who she truly is outside of that environment.
Right.
Anyway, but yeah, great work. So
his name was Ray. I'll just throw that out there. That's
what
all
shelter
I know.
did she come out of?
Van Nuys. She came out of Van Nuys, and the volunteer's name was Ray, and he did a great job. And he, honestly, if it weren't for his writing on there, that dog's life might not have been saved.
So we'll have to tag Ray and the shelter. Yeah. Thumbs up for Ray. Okay.
All right.
So I've been on kind of a wanderlust. Is that the right word? I don't know. Sure. I've been driving around with my dogs, far-flung places. My best friend came out here in July, and we drove to Sedona, Arizona, with 5 doggos. And after that, we went to the Grand Canyon. Holy moly, the Grand Canyon. I think the Grand Canyon is actually one of the natural wonders of the world. I think it's one of the top 5. It was, if you've never been to the Grand Canyon, it's spectacular, to put it mildly. After that, Roswell, New Mexico. We did not see any aliens. That was kind of a bust. And then to Texas, and then I drove out and saw my niece in Louisiana, again with 5 doggos, and stayed at her house. And she's got 2 kitty cats, and they had actually just adopted a dog out of a shelter out there. Ellie, we call her Ellie Belly. She's a pit bull, and she's beautiful. And so she wanted to play with all my dogs, and my dogs did not want to play with her because they're old. Of course, Itty did try to bite her because that's how my Itty is now in heaven. Actually, I lost another one of my personal dogs. That's 4 in the past year and a half. So I'm down to couple little doggies left. They just don't live with us long enough. They just don't stay long enough. But he had great adventures. I was surprised that he even made it to Texas because I thought he'd be gone before then. But he was like, nope, I'm hanging on for that. So anyway, and then drove back with all the dogs. So quite an adventure there. But just to touch on what Yuki was talking about, we went to, it's called the Search Dog Foundation. And I'll just kind of hold this up, and everybody listening out there can do some research on it. But this is an incredible organization, privately funded organization. They are actually taking dogs out of our shelters now. So if you volunteer in a shelter or you're a rescue and you see a dog in a shelter that has a super, I mean, it's got to be a crazy, crazy, crazy toy drive. They don't use any type of food for this training. It's all toy driven. There's quite an extensive list of things that the dog has to be able to do, but just a few of the things. Obviously, the dog has to be friendly with people and dogs because these dogs get partnered up a lot of times with like the fire department, and they travel to different parts of the country. And so even though they're not going to be playing or associating necessarily with other dogs, they may be on transport with other dogs, definitely, you know, with their person and with other people. So dog friendly, like I said, obsessive toy drive. Like the toy is their reward when they find the person in the rubble. 1 to 2 years old, they don't take any dogs over 2 years old because of the training, and also because they want the dog to have a long career. So over 2, you're looking at health risks and things like that. And then they want them to be brave, bold, and confident. And the great thing about it, and maybe Jamie, I'm talking to my producer, we can put the video on this podcast. So Yuki and I were invited to go. My rescue was invited to go. And we spent the afternoon there, and it was incredible. And now they're using pit bulls. So they had Chip, the pitty, and he did such an amazing job. And even the trainers there were like, this dog is just a specimen. But the dogs I found interesting that they're not using anymore. Well, take a guess. What dogs would you think they might use, but they're no longer using?
German Shepherds?
No.
I would think that they would want to use golden retrievers because of how addicted they are to tennis balls.
Well, they have they would use retrievers. I don't know if did they have some retrievers there, but the breed that they're not using anymore, they're not using the Belgian Malinois.
Oh.
And so for me, I thought, wow, because that to me, like the drive that those dogs have. But when they explained it, and it makes total sense, because even seeing those dogs in a shelter setting, they go completely kennel crazy. Like they cannot be kennelled because they are so intelligent that spending any time in a kennel at all, they start to circle, they start to climb, they try to get out. And so for that very, very reason, even though like the Search Dog Foundation, like where they're located, I mean, Yuki and I were so impressed. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility. It's not like they're kennelled like they are in a shelter. They get out all the time, they get training. But they've just found over the years that they've been doing this, that breed mentally is not capable of even staying in that type of environment for the period it takes to train them, which can be anywhere from like 6 months if they're really catching on, if the dog is really catching on, to a year. So anyway, but if you, like, again, those people out there that are in rescue or the volunteers at the shelter, if you have a dog that's like has a ridiculous toy drive, and just like that's all that dog is focused on. They go get it, they bring it back. They go get it, they bring it back. You know, they'll drop it, they'll go get it. I mean, you can definitely reach out. Again, it's Search Dog Foundation, and they work all over the country, and you can submit the application with all the requirements for that dog. And if that dog is not suitable for that type of work, they will try to place that dog somewhere else. Because once they take the dog into their facility, say the dog is not cut out for that work, they put it into it's called, they give it a new career. So they find an organization that's better suited for the dog in terms
Okay.
of career.
And what's the website for this organization?
Well, let me see, my friend. And I need to put my glasses on unless you can read it without
my
glasses.
vision's worse than yours.
It is?
I see the card has
These are
red
not my
writing
normal-
and black writing.
These are not my normal glasses. Let's see. So search Dog Foundation and www.searchdogfoundation.org. And Katie Brennan, KatieBrennan, is the Canine Recruitment Outreach Manager. But we'll put some information on with this podcast, and we'll put the video up there. But oh my gosh, Yuki, wasn't it amazing?
Yes, definitely amazing. I'm learning a lot, especially like you said, they pick certain types of dogs with certain characteristics. The amount of attention they give to their toys is very useful to help them train to become dogs to find people in serious situations such as hurricanes and earthquakes and things like that. And their facility was impeccable. They had actual rubble out there where they would throw the toys and the dogs would have to go out and find them, or into the bushes. And they turn the dogs around 360 degrees so they can't see where the toy landed or where it's at. They have to go just with their nose. They go back and forth. They'll zigzag across the terrain and try to catch the scent of the toy, and that's how they work.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's incredible.
That's impressive.
I'm so, I mean, of course I was crying when I was there. And then I gave out my card. I'm like, okay, don't cry and then give out your card and say you want to work here. Get it together. But dogs are just so amazing. Oh my gosh,
Aren't
the
they?
stuff they can do.
Oh, right.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
literally, they are saving lives because people cannot get into these nooks and crannies where the dogs can go.
Yeah.
And so they just let these dogs, I mean, like Yuki was saying, fires, earthquakes, hurricanes, buildings that have collapsed. The dogs get in there and they just alert on the scent of a human being. I mean, obviously it's training. I'll just say this quickly and then we're going to get to you two. There was one dog there that was supposed to be a service dog. And I was like, because I, as some of you know, because I've shared it before, have finished, my schooling for service dog training. And service dog training is so specific. You're doing one thing or several things for a person that's very, very specific. So this dog failed service dog training because this dog has such a fixated drive with toys that, and they did the, they put him through the testing, right? The requirements that the dogs have to be able to do. Like they did it with him for the first time ever with him while this group of people was there watching. This dog was born for this work. I'm like, yeah, this dog could never be a service dog. He'd pull somebody's wheelchair over. He would grab
tennis
something
ball.
and never come back with it. But this dog was like, they'd throw the toy and then like Yuki was saying, they make him sit and he would sit. And that's the service dog training piece. Like he would sit for a minute. So he wasn't vocally barking, but he was kind of shaking. You could tell he was excited. And then they spun him in a circle a couple times and then they just take him off leash and they release him and he has to go find the toy. He was perfection every single time. I mean, that dog, and they had just put him through all this testing that in that moment while we were watching, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's just the fact that he could do it like that. He's just born to do it.
Yeah.
Dogs are amazing. It was so impressive. Anyway, that was a great adventure that we had. Search Dog Foundation. Okay. So who wants to start? Because it's really about Camille and Jen today. I just want to talk about what's been going on with you guys. Jen, definitely we want to talk about Doggy Snax. So even if you want to start, and then Camille will talk about you and Ace and what's been going on with you guys, okay?
Well, I want to hear about Camille and Ace. Can we start there?
We can't start there.
Is that okay, Camille?
Yeah, I mean,
I just see Ace over there owning us.
We're just kind of getting back into the swing of doing a podcast. So this is our pre-anniversary podcast. So just bear with us. It's kind of like loosey-goosey, but
This is podcast light.
yeah, we're happy to be here.
we haven't been doing much. I mean, we went to Monterey in June. We're going to Arizona at the end of this month.
Okay.
And yeah, just that's it.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Well, that can't
Yeah.
be it.
Can you
So-
give me a little backstory?
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm meeting Ace.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Oh yeah, why don't you do
Yeah.
that? And then also maybe talk a little bit about like, because he's getting older, like has anything changed? Because we've done like 2 episodes with Ace.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ace is very important to us. So yeah, Camille, why don't you share like how you even met us and how
Yeah.
you got Ace?
So actually, Ashley, she reached out to me because I had signed up to foster dogs. And so she had reached out to me about a different dog, about fostering him. It didn't work out. But she actually had reached out to me and said, you know, my friend Jessica, she has a dog named Ace. He's really good with other dogs and really good with kids. And I was like, okay. So we met him. We actually came to this house.
Yeah.
And this was over 2 years ago.
Yeah, the foster house.
And so we met him, my husband and his kids met Ace. And then the next day I texted Jessica and I was like, we want him. Yeah.
and we'd
really
had
liked
him for 2 years.
Oh wow.
He lived in this house. He was a Carson shelter dog, and he was in the no man's land section of Carson. He
Yeah.
was going to be euthanized. They said, you know, all kinds of negative things about him. And I happened to walk through that building, and Ace and I locked eyes. I actually wound up getting 2 dogs out. I think it was a husky that I also got out, but that husky went to an adopter. And then I made the mistake of like asking somebody that worked at the shelter. I'm like, it's just the dumbest question ever. What dogs like really need to get out? Well, all of them, obviously.
Right.
But and what dogs? Anyway, one of the volunteers, or actually I think somebody that worked there, said to me, "This dog, Ace, is an incredible dog." But when he's got piercing blue eyes, so when I walked through the building and he looked at me, I remember I called my sister. And I said, "Oh, Molly," I said, "got to get this dog out." And then I called Ace. So I'd already made then I called Yuki. I'd already made the decision to get Ace out. And then I was like, "Yuki, do you think we can foster him at the foster house?" Because at the time, this was a house really just for dogs. We had a lot of dogs coming and going through here. Yuki, chime in anytime.
Sure. We had all kinds of dogs,
Yeah.
and we would, depending on their temperament and size, would separate them by the gates that are all over
We have tons of
the
gates.
house and doors.
Yeah.
But I made it work. You know, you have to, because that's you're saving their dog and keeping the other dogs safe too.
So Yuki said yes.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And anyway, so Camille, continue on. But yeah, we fostered him here for 2 years. And I was
Yeah,
like, oh
2
my gosh, we're
years.
never going to find this dog a home.
Yeah. It was actually, so I had lost my dog. He was like 15 and a half years old. I lost him in June. And so I was telling my husband, I was like, I don't think I want a dog right now. It just hurts. And then September rolls around and I was just like, it's just too quiet in here.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm ready to foster. And so that's why I submitted the application. But then after we met Ace, Jessica said, he's not up for foster. You have to adopt him. I was like, I'll take him.
Well, we don't do foster to like adopt.
Yeah.
Because it can be very stressful for the dog.
Yeah.
You know, for a dog to go into a home and they're like, it's too much work, or we don't want him. It's like, because he was already being fostered here and he got along with Yuki's dogs. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But you fell in love with him, Camille. He
I
is your
know.
sole dog. Well, maybe
Yeah.
not your only sole dog, but
No, but I mean, we have a great well, I work from home, so he's with me all the time.
yeah.
And everybody in everybody else in the house is the spare, and I'm his person.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're just like, oh, whenever you're gone, Ace just stares out the door, just waiting for you to come home. And as soon as you come home, he loses it.
You're his mama.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the best dog. He's great.
You're the human.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
guys have had him for how long now?
Just over 2 years.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
2 years.
Yeah. I think on Wednesday was his 2-year anniversary.
Yeah,
when we
you sent us
adopted him.
pictures.
Yeah.
He got steak.
We gave him steak.
Aw.
Did some tricks and treats with him. So
So
Yeah.
maybe just touch on just for a few minutes, if you can, just about some of the challenges you've had. And then, like I said, because he is getting a little bit older, as everybody and all of our doggies do, like, you know, food and just whatever you want to share with us about your journey with him thus far.
yeah, I mean, since we got him or adopted him, he had 2 surgeries
Yep.
in the last 2 years. and
Major surgeries.
yeah, pretty big surgeries. And,
Related to aging or?
well, one of them was his teeth. His teeth were pretty bad when we first got him.
Okay.
And just I think when you received him to adopted him from the
Oh,
shelter,
terrible.
his
Yeah.
teeth were pretty bad.
bad.
So he had to get 4 teeth removed, and then we found out that he wasn't fixed.
Oh,
Even though the shelter paperwork said he was neutered, so
Yeah.
I kind of
So then-
trusted that.
So because of that, he somehow got like a double, like herniated something. It was really weird.
It
So
was
he-
very traumatic at the
Yeah.
time. Isn't it crazy though? I forgot he had to go through that. It was major
Yeah.
surgery.
yeah.
They had to go in and like
Do MRIs.
I have
do a
so
lot of
many
testing.
questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Poor
Like
guy.
we just noticed it because when he would go to the bathroom, he would struggle.
Oh.
And so
okay.
we found out that he had a bilateral hernia or something, and then he wasn't fixed. And so he had to get major surgery for that. And then we just found out last year that he has pretty severe arthritis, like somewhere in the middle of his spine, due to some type of accident. We don't know what.
Yeah.
But this is like, the doctor is saying this happened when he was like maybe 2 or 3 years old.
Oh,
so-
so really young.
So he has very severe arthritis. So he can't jump. We have to carry him from the car, and he takes supplements every day.
yeah.
And we give him like fish oil, just anything to help with his joints and his arthritis. Yeah.
He's got the best mama. He's
Yeah.
got the best family. I think he actually lived in a car for a while with
Oh,
his
yeah, you
previous
mentioned
owner.
that. Yeah.
With his previous owner, and then there was another dog. And his sibling, the sister, got adopted. And then he wound up on the euthanasia list. But yeah, we never know
Yeah.
what has happened with our dogs prior to, rescuing them or
Yeah.
adopting them. So we do the best we can. But yeah, Ace went through a lot of medical issues, but he's doing great now, right?
Yeah, he's doing great. I mean, with it being super hot, he doesn't like to walk during the day. So
It's not really
he
super
doesn't like
hot.
To be
Yeah.
fair, I don't like to walk during the
Just
day
like
when it's
you.
super
Yeah.
hot.
Okay, go to Texas in the summer. Like I was there in July, and I'm used to walking my dogs like a mile and a half every day. It was over 100 degrees. My dogs were like, we made 1 mile in the months that I was
Oh,
there.
gosh.
They were like, no, we're not walking in 100-degree weather.
no.
But Ace is a great traveler. You guys have just touched, like, what are some of the places y'all have been? I know you mentioned a few, but
Yeah, so we've gone to like Monterey, we've been to San Francisco, we've been to Utah plenty of times.
yeah.
Wow.
We've gone to Prescott. We just go everywhere with him.
You travel everywhere.
Yeah.
You guys rent those beautiful cabins. With
Oh yeah,
him?
like went to Big Bear. We go to Big Bear a lot.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, just anywhere we can go, take him. We'll take him. Yeah,
He loves to travel. He
Yeah.
literally did find the very best family.
yeah. We like to go camping. Like to be in the mountains, and he loves it. Like he actually loves the snow too. We went up to Bishop.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And we took him up in the snow, and he loved it. I was actually surprised. I didn't think he was gonna like it, but he was just going crazy. He was just
Aw.
zoomies everywhere.
Ace, we're talking about you, Ace.
He's like, I'm cuddled right now.
Yeah.
I'm like so loving life.
Yeah, at one point I said to Yuki, I'm like, well, I think he's probably just going to be adopted by you, Yuki. Because he really got along with Molly and Bailey.
He did,
Along
yeah.
with
2 years
Bailey
is
and
a long
Molly.
time.
It is a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I always say, like, it's the right family at the right time. Timing is everything. And the fact that he was able to be fostered in this home and have a home environment and be around other dogs and just have that decompression time for 2 years made him a better dog.
He's certainly
Yay!
a good dog now,
Yeah.
you can tell.
Yeah.
He's mellowed a lot. He's fast asleep over there.
But when I lived with him for that amount of time, though, he was just one of the funniest dogs. The looks that he gives me every
Yeah.
morning, every day, it just cracks me up.
He's still very photogenic, and he's got the most beautiful eyes. He
He
did.
really does.
He
They're
does,
very
yeah.
striking.
Yeah, he followed me when I was in the shelter in that kennel. He was like,
He looked into your soul.
he
Yeah.
did. He was like, get me out of here.
He's
and
like,
I was
"You're
like,
taking me
okay,
out."
I
Yeah.
am. I was like,
Yeah.
all righty,
Yeah.
you got it, buddy. All right, well,
Yeah.
thanks for being here, Camille and Ace. We love, and Camille is a dear friend of ours, and Matt, and her husband, Matt. And yeah, we're going to be there next week
Yeah.
looking at her new place, like we said. And we're going to bring Molly and Bailey so they can run around the backyard, tear up that yard.
Yep.
the new yard. But yeah, Ace is one of our success stories.
Yes.
That's why we do rescue. Anything else, Camille, you want to share?
No. Just adopt from shelters. Don't buy dogs because you never know. It could be the best dog you've ever had.
For sure.
Will be the
Yes.
best dog you ever had, for sure.
100%
Very
the best
true.
dog you've
Yeah.
ever had. And be patient with them because you guys had to ride through a couple of challenges.
Yeah, but I think for the most part, you guys did a great job with training him and just having him interact with other dogs. But
Yeah.
I mean, just him adjusting and getting acclimated to a new setting.
And the kids.
Oh yeah, and the kids. I think with the youngest one, it took him about 6 months to get acclimated to her.
Yeah,
But anytime he growled, you immediately correct it.
that's right.
And then now he and the youngest daughter, they're best friends.
They're best friends,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Are they still?
Oh yeah, every time she comes home, she's like, Ace! And she hugs him and lay down with him. And they're just like laying down together.
That's amazing.
They have their paws up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll be like, Ace!
Yeah, you got to train the
Yeah.
two-legged, not just the four-legged.
Yeah.
You got to
That's right.
you correct behaviors with our dogs, but also we got to train our children to be respectful
Yeah.
to dogs. I mean, it's a two-way street,
Yeah.
that relationship. So,
Yeah, we definitely had to do that with the youngest one. We had to remind them he's not used to us. He's not used to this home. So we just want him to get used to everybody and get adjusted. And then when he lets you kiss him in the face or hug him, like he'll let you know if he doesn't like it, but just give him time.
yeah.
Don't of mice and men him.
I think he still doesn't like. I used to try to like look at his teeth.
Oh, he hates it.
He hates
Yeah.
for you to like lift up his gums.
Yeah.
And even when I saw him today, I get in his face to give him a kiss, and he tolerates it now.
Yeah.
But it's not his favorite
Yeah.
thing.
He's not. He wants to be pet in his own way, but he doesn't want to snuggle.
Yeah.
But he wants you to pet him and
Yeah.
touch him. Yeah.
Like what's happening right now with Yuki.
Yeah.
Yuki's
I was
been
gonna say,
Yeah.
Yuki's been petting him for 45 minutes now. I
Pretty
think.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes,
that's dogs. Every dog
he's
is
used
different.
to it.
Yeah.
Ace.
Yeah. But
Sweet Ace.
if we're traveling, I'll let him sleep on the bed with me, and I'm like, let's snuggle, and I'm hugging him, and he's like, nope. Goes right to the end of the bed, and wants to be on top of the blanket, and that's how he likes to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got to respect what our dogs
Yeah.
want, like how they are. Every dog is different.
Consent is a thing.
It is.
Yeah, he's
Even
saying
with
no
animals. I love you, but I don't want to hug you.
and don't touch me. And he may sleep hot, so- right? Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, for him it does.
He wants to be above the blankets. Unfortunately, well, it's okay though. My dogs like to be underneath the blankets right next to me. So I sleep hot because I got fur babies all over me. Hey.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Do you mind if I
No,
put
I
that
do
over
not.
there? All right.
Put this right here.
I'll quickly reintroduce myself
Yes,
for
please
anyone
do.
who hasn't seen a previous podcast. But I'm Jennifer Gelman. I'm the founder and managing director of Doggy Snax. Woohoo!
All of our doggies love the doggy snacks and the
Doggy
kitty cat snacks.
Yes, our treats and supplements. Where healthy meets yummy, so you don't have to decide whether you're going to get a healthy treat given out that maybe isn't the best tasting in the whole world, but at least they got a treat, or a yummy treat that's maybe full of fillers. You don't have to make that decision. You can just have both in one. And so anyway, that's me. And as Jess just alluded, Doggy Snax has a sister company now called Kitty Snax. And I don't even have a product to show you today. I have product in little samples, but I don't have the packaging because it's that new. So you literally heard it here first.
Awesome.
Yay.
But we do know somebody whose kitty cats have tried those kitty cat snacks. Our wonderful producer, Jamie, and her cats. Well, she said to me initially, she was like, I don't know, like my cats are really picky. And then she came out after giving right? True story.
They stole it right out of my hand.
Yeah, they stole it
Wow.
right out of her hand. They love those kitty cat snacks.
Went like this, Betsy came up, ran
Yeah.
Run away. I love that.
Yeah.
I love those stories, especially I love it when people say, "Oh, my dog's not going to eat it. He's so picky, so finicky." Or when someone says, "Oh, my cat doesn't really like treats." And I'm like, "Okay, well, if they don't eat them, just pass them on to the next person or
Right.
whatever." So far, no one has come to me and said, "Oh, yeah, we had to pass them along to our neighbor or our friend." That hasn't happened yet. So I should say, knock on wood, not trying to toot my own horn too much, but I'm excited about these.
That's wonderful. Do you have something to show our
I do.
listeners?
Do you mind grabbing that little bag
Get
for
on
me
down
there
there.
if you can reach?
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I am all out of the.
The dogs.
They're awake.
They woke up.
Oh my gosh! Look at Angel. Well, you
all
can't see
the dogs know me.
Angel's face.
Angel.
She's like, my dogs have devoured pounds of your doggy snacks at this point. I don't have any doggy snacks left. And then the last time I saw you, you gave me a bunch of bags. And actually, when I was walking back from Hermosa, I gave out a few bags.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, I did.
So-
And then I brought, a couple bags back for my dogs, but they're gone because they love them. Anyway,
so
yeah,
it
let's
looks
see
like
what you got.
she's rallying for maybe I should leave some more.
I'm your doggy snack pusher.
But I'm going to backtrack a little bit.
Yeah,
just,
talk
just
to us, yeah.
talk about joint product, hip hip oh yay. So this is really just wonderful joint product, has all the ingredients you'd think about, glucosamine, chondroitin, all of that, MSM. We also have green lip mussel in there. A lot of times you'll look and it'll be like, it has some of the things I like, but not all of the things I like. Really loads you up on omega-3s, really important. So just letting you know about that. And
That'd be
also,
great for Ace.
It's green. So
Yeah, that would
I
be.
wore green for this. And you guys
Oh,
might
I love
remember,
that.
I don't know, in a previous
You wore green
podcast.
to match your.
I did in a
Love that.
previous and that's a supplement. So you want to feed that. For most dogs, it's twice a day. And then the other supplement we have is hiding at the very bottom. And this, if you've ever seen pictures of my dog, everyone's like, "How does he get so shiny?" And that is Stop It, for chew. Or stop. Well, you can read. Anyway, this is a wonderful chock full. Again, omega-3s are awesome. They're awesome for your dogs.
Ace is tearing the setup. Okay.
Ace is tearing
You
the
need to
setup
open up
to
these
get to it.
snacks because
Okay, well,
these
these are
dogs have gone
supplements.
crazy.
So we're just doing the supplements right
Okay.
now, but hold on. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Well, Ace has itchy skin and
but-
he's got joint issues, so maybe he
Okay,
can try a
so
supplement.
there's probably enough omega-3s in this one, in the hip hip yay, that he won't have to worry about it. But if they don't have hip and joint issues, but you want a shiny dog or a dog that maybe isn't too worried about too much inflammation, that kind of thing, there you go. Stop Itch, available on Amazon, on our website, all the others. And then you guys may or may not remember this. I brought this to earlier podcast. This is the one who wants to be the hero. Which one of you two want to be the hero?
Camille, you can be the hero.
Porkies. It is bacon and cheddar cheese. Go ahead and open it up and
Open
feed it
those
to
up.
them. Yeah, this is our most popular.
Yeah, my dogs love that.
Treat.
But can you go back to the finish talking about that? But because I'm interested, just because like she has shared about Ace. Can you go back to the supplement ones in a second and just talk about how often their dogs would take them?
come here.
and-
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Stuff like-
I'll go back and address
Okay.
that, but we're right in the middle of Porkies.
Go ahead, go to
And I
Porkies.
have super exciting news about Porkies because I love the cookie, but I didn't love the packaging. Hold on. We got,
Well, he's got my wire here. Ace
Yeah, I
is-
don't know if he can.
It's okay. Let's make sure. Here.
Ace, come here. Sit.
Good boy, Ace. There you go.
And he's back up. And he's back out.
Yeah.
He's going in
Wants to eat
private
it
to
by
eat that treat.
himself. Wants to enjoy it by himself.
Look at him.
You smell good.
He's over there by himself. He said, "I need privacy to eat my porkies."
Aw.
Good boy, Ace.
He took it so he didn't have to share any.
That's what we're saying. Look
Just
at Angel.
maybe.
Did Angel get one?
Angel, oh my
Angel
God,
ate
yeah.
it.
Did Angel get some?
Yeah, I got
Well, she can have another one.
Angel loves treats.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
See,
Angel
this
loves
is what I like
There
to
you
do
go.
for taste test is when you give your dog a treat, your dog is used to getting food from your hand. So
Yeah.
even if it is something new, they'll take it from you. But what my litmus test is do they come back and look for more? So this I'm loving right here.
Well, Ace has
because
come back.
Angel is like hopping up trying to get round 3, and Ace has already like taken his, gone away, ate it, or as we say in our house, eated it, and now he wants another one. So this is the Porky's packaging, but the exciting news. Exciting for me anyway. Maybe not as exciting for everyone else. Woo! It is the same cookie, but in way cuter packaging. Because I
We
am
like cute packaging.
all about being serious about what's on the inside, but being frivolous a little bit about what's on the outside. So we're very, very proud of this in the new packaging. I really like it. We have pictures instead of the picture here, which doesn't really show it to its best advantage, that it's just a fun little heart-shaped cookie your dogs are going to love. Give them love. Give them snacks.
Okay, they keep coming back.
Yes.
Ace,
Yeah.
Ace would like one more.
Okay.
Well, I'll let you
Yes.
be the hero
And
this
and
time.
he sat down this time. You didn't even have to ask him. He's like, okay, whatever I have to do.
Now, the
These
one
are the
thing-
ones that my dogs love. Sorry, go ahead.
The one
Jen.
thing I would like to point out is these are treats and snacks. Feed them as a treat and snack, not as their full meal. It's not nutritionally balanced to be the whole meal. I do have to say that because people are like, oh my God, my dog likes these so much. I can just give it to them. I'm like, yeah, actually make sure they get a full nutritional meal. But they will tell you, no, it's okay. Just feed us Porkies.
They love them.
And then
Night. Here, Angel, one more.
last on the dog side, I don't know if I brought these last time. Doggy Do pet waste bags.
I love those too.
For when your doggy does what your doggy do. And anyway, they're packaged real cute. They're real easy to find. They are biodegradable pet waste bags. There are 15 per roll. There are 12 rolls in a box. You get a total of 180 bags. So these are available on our website. They're not quite on Amazon yet, but I'm working on getting them there. But they are available at local independent pet stores. Just ask for Doggy Snax products. Now, should we go on to our other announcement, or do you want me to go back and revisit the supplements?
Can you revisit the supplements just
Okay,
so we'll
don't
stay
ask
in-
me too many hard questions.
Oh, I'm not going to ask you any questions. You just say what you want to say. Because, again, I was just thinking about Ace because Ace he's itchy. We just talked about that off
Okay.
camera. Super itchy. And then his, hip and joint and his arthritis. So, yeah.
So for a lot of the situations where your dog is itchy, a lot of times it's a reaction to inflammation going on. So you want to be sure that they have some omega-3s in there because an omega-3 is a natural anti-inflammatory. So that's why that's important, and that's why you'll find in our Stop It product a lot of those omega-3s that are really helpful. However, you don't have to double up. If you've got a dog that is on, you said like fish oils and that kind of thing, for joints. So there's something called a therapeutic dose when you talk about supplements.
Okay.
So a therapeutic dose is how much, are they getting enough to actually make an impact? Now, as a dog gets older and the arthritis, say, sets in and gets a little worse, what you were giving as a therapeutic dose might increase. So that gives you an idea kind of what a therapeutic dose means.
Okay. Interesting.
So, so that's important to know. If you're just dealing with a little bit of itchiness or you want to shine your coat, that doesn't take as much omega-3. So this, even though it has omega-3s in it, it wouldn't be a therapeutic dose for a dog that has arthritis.
Okay.
So that's why when you look, why is there two products that are really
I
big in
gotcha.
omega-3?
Sure.
That's why. So we have higher levels of omega-3s in the Hip Hippo Yay product because it is designed to help joints move more smoothly, to help reduce inflammation even more,
Okay.
to help the dog move more freely.
Wonderful.
So I'm
That's
not trying to
wonderful.
suggest that this is a cure for arthritis. That's something that your vet would have to,
Right,
you know,
right.
this is not a medicine. It is a supplement. But it's a very useful supplement. It's a wonderful, it has boswellia in it. It has all kinds of different ingredients in it that really help
That's
that have been
amazing.
shown in clinical studies, not just because I say so, but actual clinical studies. I did work in animal health for 20 years before I started Doggy Snax, so that's just a little bit of background on me. Like I said, I'm serious about what goes in. I'm just frivolous about the packaging a little bit.
I love it. That's fantastic. Yeah, great information.
When
Jen.
did you start this
Wonderful.
business?
Let's see. It was formulating in my head for a good 5 years before the LLC was started, but the LLC was started in January of 2024.
Oh, wow.
So we're coming up on 2 years.
Wow, great for you.
Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank
Let's go get
you.
And
You
I
are
would like
still-
to tell everyone that we don't recommend just anything. This is really good stuff.
Oh,
really
yeah,
clean
no, what?
stuff.
Thank you.
Just like our drinks that we had. It's clean.
Yeah, we're all about
For
clean
dogs, it's
healthy
good stuff. Yes. So
dog
please
snacks.
pay attention.
dog
Look
treats.
for this product. I totally recommend it.
Doggy
Thank you.
snacks. Well, we're about to be through the. If you don't take this bag away
No,
from me,
no,
they're
no.
gonna
The bag
eat.
is for you. So
No, you
feed
can
away.
take it
Oh,
home.
all right.
Camille,
Well,
that's
it's
for you.
awesome because there's not a lot of ingredients that I don't know. It's like I know what these
Because you're
ingredients
super
are.
healthy.
Yeah.
The stuff that you feed Ace,
Yeah.
and he loves these porkies, so you can take those home, Camille.
Well, I think it was on this podcast last time that we coined the term clean treating.
Yeah.
Like we think about when we eat for ourselves, our own things, it's clean eating. So, and then a lot of times people do, in fact, care about like what meal they're feeding their dog and they look into that. But
Yeah.
then with treats, all bets are off.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, why am I
Yeah.
spending this much time and this much effort? And then all of a sudden, now I'm giving them a Snickers bar 3 times a day or, the equivalent of.
Totally.
So anyway, so that's one of the motivating factors of I want you to look and know what's in it and be able to
feel good about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
This sorry, I just want to say Porky's has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ingredients.
Yeah.
It
That's
does.
amazing.
It's amazing. And
Wow.
Ace loves them. And so you're going to take that bag home.
Thank
And
you.
you know what I want to say too about these treats? Because sometimes, like dogs with like the drier treat, like the hard treats, they're not as appealing to dogs. Dogs tend to want like chewier, those types of treats. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the whatever, bacon treats or whatever they are. It's not the case with the Porkies, is what I'm trying to say. Like these dry, because they're like cookies, they're crackers.
Yeah.
They're crackers.
They
They're crunchy.
love them.
They're cookies.
I could train as a dog trainer with these treats where other dry treats, my clients, the dogs are like, no, thank you. But these they adore.
Yeah.
They love them.
Angel.
They've had like 20 each.
And I do want to point out how Camille just broke it so easily. So there
Yeah.
is a little hole. I say we have a little hole in our heart, but it's okay. It's okay because that's what makes it
Oh,
easier
now you
to
have
break
get Ace one.
for
Camille, I'll give
our
it to
little friends. So our little dogs like Angel get a little one just like that. And then do you want the big size? Oh, yeah. Ace is like, I'll take full size, please.
Yeah, so these are great training treats. And again, breakable. That's a great point. I didn't even think about that. For if you are training your dog, you can break them in half. Yeah, they're
Break it.
wonderful.
I just love the way she's looking at me for more. Like,
And
I just
Ace, look at
wanna-
Ace.
I like, yeah.
Ace is like, I see the
Ace
bag.
is staring.
What do you think,
This is
Ace?
what we're doing.
All right, what do you got? What's exciting?
Well, for those that know me, know I love dogs, but they also know that I have the closest thing I have to a child is a 19-and-a-half-year-old kitty cat that I've had since she was 7 weeks old. So she is what I call our CEO. She's our cat executive officer. And she was like, okay, this is all cool and fun with your doggy snacks, but
What about
let's get
me?
around to what's really important. And being a cat. So these are only samples, but we do have some feline treats coming out. The first one is called Good as Cluck. It is a chicken flavored little star shaped treat that I believe Jamie has already given a wonderful.
Cat approved.
Yes, I haven't had the actual product to show you yet. I haven't had the actual pouches because they're not done yet.
Yeah.
But I have handed out enough of these that I already have like 5 5-star reviews with video that are just getting ready. So I'll also want one from you as well. Yeah. So, and I'll leave these in case you have to retest to make sure that they love them. And then coming, it's probably too early to launch this, but
you have
I
the
will.
oceany ones.
Yeah. So we're going to come out with a second flavor, and that'll be in Q1 or Q2 of 2026. So I might have to come back on and launch that. So anyway, they're a little fishy shaped. And, you know, I don't know that everybody knows this. Humans, not all species do this, but humans do and cats do. They eat by mouth feel. If something doesn't feel good in your mouth, even if you like the taste, you won't eat it. That's also true of cats. So that's why I have different shapes. I have the fish shape and the star shape
Love it.
because some cats will love them all. Some cats will like the fishy and some cats will like the star shape. And that's just how they are. So we're doing different shapes. And this one, I don't even know that I have a name for it right now. Tentatively, I'm calling it Something's Fishy. And
That's an awesome name. That's a great name.
Well, Jamie's
All right, I
going to
think
let
we've
us
sealed
know
that.
what her cats like, if they like the fishy shape or the
Or
the star shape.
Absolutely. And anyway, so coming soon to a pet store near you and or online and on Amazon.
I love it.
All right.
Well, it looks
you.
like Ace and Angel want to try the cat snacks too.
Well, you know, because these are so little.
Come here, Ace.
Oh, let's see. Oh, Angel is giving me some real quick approval, I think. Oh, yeah. Oh,
She likes
I thought she was going to take one at a time. She's like, whoop, whoop.
Ace, do you want to?
And I'm
Can
done.
I open this one?
Yeah, please. Oh, you don't even hear.
Here you go.
I haven't sealed them because I knew we were coming here.
And then Jamie, you'll let us know what your kitty cats think of them.
Yeah, Jamie's over there going, don't feed the dogs all my cat treats.
Ace actually really loves fish.
That's,
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
just took
he
them
loves
right away. So, okay, so also, well, let me revisit on whether or not I'm going to market these for little dogs, but I might. So,
They're coming back for more.
exactly. So look for Good as Cluck. Those should be out actually by the end of the month. Those should be in retail channels. And then, and Something's Fishy. Apparently, I think
Yes.
we've decided
Yes,
that's the
Thumbs
name.
up. That's
a great
adorable.
name. That's
What
an
could be
awesome
better
name.
than Something's Fishy for a cat treat?
My tagline's going to be "They're real good."
Oh, that's cute. Thank you. You heard it here first, folks.
You did indeed. You did. I haven't talked to anybody about this yet. So perfect.
Yay!
Woo. So that's what's new with Doggy Snax. Or you can always visit us at doggysnax.com. And if you want to reach out, it's info@doggysnax.com.
Wonderful. Oh my gosh. So wonderful. I don't even know what
Yes.
else to say. It's just, and these are great. I love these poop bags. I think I'm out of poop bags too. I may take one of these.
Well, you can just have the box.
Have the box.
Yeah.
I don't want to take all your, I don't know why. Is this swag? Is that what it's called? Swag? All right. Well, like I said earlier, we're just easing back into the podcast world. We've taken a little bit of a break and we will be doing another podcast probably next month. We're going to do our big year anniversary podcast, and these two lovely ladies will be here with us. Of course, Yuki will be here.
Yes.
And then we'll have one other guest with us. Is there anything anybody wants to say before we sign off?
Adopt more dogs.
Yes.
Adopt a lot of dogs. A dog?
And cats, too.
cats.
So
And
you can
cats.
feed them
Yes.
a kitty cat, doggy, cat snacks.
Cats. Kitty snacks.
Kitty snacks.
Kitty
Yeah.
snacks.
Yes.
Kitty
And if my
snacks.
sister has her way by 2027, we will have pony snacks out. But don't
You
hold your breath on
should.
that one. It's going to take me a
What
little
about
while.
horses?
That's, well,
Ponies,
Ponies.
horses. We live in California,
because
maybe.
horsey snacks isn't as fun to say as pony snacks.
Horsey snacks it's fun to say.
Okay. I also own that URL, so maybe. Who knows?
Oh, there you go. All four-legged creatures will be eating some sort
Right,
of Jen's
some
doggy
kind
not
of
snacks. Yeah.
snacky.
Anybody else?
baby
Camille,
is-
parting words. You said adopt dogs
Adopt more dogs.
and cats.
And
like
cats.
I said, I keep repeating
all
myself.
animals.
All animals.
All animals need love.
Yuki, what about you?
Well, Ceylan, she just adopted out one of her foster kittens to one of my best friends.
Oh,
I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I think.
I need a picture.
And yeah, and plus my daughters, between the two of them, there's a total of 6 cats. So
we need
we're
this
not just a dog
cat snacks
family. We got cats too.
And we have 2 cats in the foster home.
Yes.
So we got cats here.
And I think going towards our last podcast, we may sneak in another one dealing with how to travel with big dogs or dogs in general in an RV, which for me, that's the only way I can travel with people and dogs, is because the RV has got the room. They can hold the amount of dogs and their activity in the vehicle. They don't have to be crated or anything. They could just sit in the seats and just sit there and watch the scenery. And Angel loves the RV already. She's the first dog of mine to ride in the RV. And I definitely recommend it for anyone that's got a lot of dogs and want to keep them included in their travels and their vacations. That's the best way to go. So, and the prices are dropping right now. So,
Buy a mini Winnie.
Mini Winnie.
yes.
Woo woo. All right. Well, I want to thank you guys again for being here. Thanks for riding the technical wave with us earlier. Thanks again to our wonderful behind the scenes team, Jamie. And and yeah, we just want to thank you for following us on Digger Digger Doggos. And like I said, we'll be doing some more podcasts. So we look forward to you joining us. And signing off for now. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
Take care.
you.
God bless. Go adopt a dog.
Bye.
Yay.
Woo.